Very good morning. Good morning to all of you here in the room, and equally importantly, good day to all of you who will be watching this on the replay from Friday, I believe it is. I know we are now on day 3, sort of halfway through reInvent, and there's been a lot of interesting announcements. And I know we've already had a number of sessions on telco, and we will have more sessions on telco today and tomorrow, and I'll be pointing out to all of that. I will also be showing you how much telco content and demos you will be able to see later. And actually, it's not very far from here. I think it's just out here to the right. You'll be able to see some fantastic demos. So what we want to do during this hour is share with you the journey where we've been in the last 12 months, what we said we were going to do 12 months ago in the telco sector, what the priorities were going to be, and we're going to fast forward to where we are today, but we're going to be looking at this through the eyes of customers. Customers, telcos, who have been working with us for the last 12 months plus on delivering on these 4 strategic pillars that we presented last year. When we talk to you, we are on the AWS telco team working with our partners, going to work on simplifying operations, clarifying networks, improving that whole customer satisfaction journey, and ultimately engaging with telcos to find new avenues to grow revenue. That was the mission statement. That was the strategy we laid out in a stage like this about 12 months ago, wearing masks. It sort of shows you how far we've come. And really pleased to report that this year is all about reality. We needed to have a vision, we needed to have a plan, we needed to have a journey where we were going to engage with our services teams, with our ecosystem of partners, on behalf of our customers to innovate in these areas. And it's really pleased to talk about some of these great things that have happened. You will be hearing from some of the customers through videos. Some of them are in the audience, so you'll be able to talk to them afterwards. Because there's been way too many good stories to pack them all in an hour. Whether he's looking at the Dish very rapid network build out to achieve 20% coverage of the US in 14 months, or whether he's looking at how to apply the concept of a 5G network to manage and meter and count kettle in Australia, or whether he's looking at building a 5G core on the cloud in Korea with LGU Plus to have a backup network, a fallback network, or whether he's looking at the work that Vodafone is doing. There's just way too many things that we could talk about. Now, you would say, why has so much happened in about a year? There are no silver bullets, but there are some common themes, some common trends that we're seeing in the market that seem to apply pretty much everywhere. These are the sort of 6 trends that we're trying to write, 6 trends that we're working with our partners on, and the 6 trends that we see our customers, the telecommunications companies around the world working on. So we're going to be talking about each of them one after the other, and you're going to hear from customers who are embarked on that journey, whether it's the transformation from telco to techco, all the way down to looking at sustainability and all the things that can be done there. So let's just take them in turn. The transformation from telco to techco is not a hobby. It is a response to looking for new areas of revenue, to looking to deliver faster services, looking to re-engineer value-add services and be able to get them to market quicker. It's about trying to respond to the requirements of end users in the B2C space or the B2B space of getting more and better services coming from the telcos. And they are more than just communications. These are new capabilities that most telcos didn't have in-house. So they're having to transform themselves to be able to deliver that. And we are seeing that whether it's by building, acquiring capabilities like a system integrator in-house, or training a lot of people, or just going into massive talent acquisition, particularly in the on the cloud area. This is something that is happening everywhere. There was a very interesting study that said that most telcos see themselves selling the majority and getting the biggest growth from selling to enterprises. But if you asked enterprises, they would tell you that the stuff that they needed to buy is not the stuff that telco sells. But then when you ask the enterprises, would you buy from a telco if that telco partners with a hyperscaler, where they partner and build really innovative solutions, and they really bundle this together, communication and innovation on the cloud? Would you buy from them? And more than half of the enterprises said, yes, we would. That's the journey that we're seeing. So there are a lot of ingredients required to make that transformation. It's not going to happen by osmosis, and it's not going to happen unless you have a really aggressive top-down mandate. And think about top-down mandates. I think about the case of Vodacom in South Africa that said to the team, it doesn't matter what happens. We are going to migrate 1,500 applications onto the cloud. That's it. Aggressive KPIs, top-down mandate. You need to have vision from the top. You need to have that transformational, inspirational vision from the C-suite. And I think of cases like Swisscom, where Swisscom decided they were going to go all in on the cloud. They were fully going to transform how they ran their IT. They were going to fully transform and build a 5G network with Ericsson on the AWS cloud. And they were going to transform the B2B engine to deliver more cloud-centric solutions. That's a big, bold strategic statement. It is also about thinking big and build this unique perspective on each of our customers. For the very first time, it is possible to capture pretty much every single attribute about every subscriber. And I can think of the great work that Global Telecom is doing with us over in the Philippines, where they are capturing, in pretty much real time, hundreds of attributes of every consumer. And then they're able to personalize the experience, the services, the engagement to pretty much every single subscriber. It is also about having that insurgent mentality. This is not about, okay, instead of doing waterfall like we did before on premise, now we're going to do waterfall on the cloud. No. This is not about 6 months testing and then deploying and then testing again. This is about operating in real time. This is about really challenging how things are done. And a great example is Dish, how they've really gone and transformed, and they've gone into a totally cloud-centric CI/CD mentality that really challenges the traditional operating culture of a telco. And it's all about removing differentiated work through automation. And we can do automation at the infrastructure level. We can do automation at the solution level. And ultimately, what we want to get to as an industry is getting automation at the business outcome level. But it's also about recognizing that most telcos do not have the teams, the expertise, and the experience on board, and that we need to work together to train, to attract, and to develop this sort of talent, this cloud-centric talent, these insurgents, these developers, these people who are happy to just innovate, launch, improve, innovate, launch, and improve. And then how do we do that together? Because that's a big, big gap. This is a very good transition to a great story. And I think, Brian, there you are. Okay, so from Alianza, we're going to talk about what they've done working with Lumen to really modernize that soft switching space and what's enabling Lumen to go after. It's an area that traditionally hasn't been getting as much attention as 5G. But this is an area where I think there is a tremendous potential and a lot of low-hanging fruit for this industry, for operators, and for visionary ISVs like Alianza. Let's hear from them.
Hi, I'm Christopher Smith, and I lead the Platform Application Solutions team at Lumen. I own a number of portfolios that include security, SD-WAN, SASE, and UCC. pretty much all of the portfolios that enterprises needed help with as the world transformed over the last couple of years. So we've seen a lot. The world has changed a lot from a work perspective. Almost overnight, where we work changed very dramatically. And if you don't know Lumen, we're a platform technology company. We run one of the biggest IP networks in the world. We have one of the largest voice and conferencing platforms anywhere. We're expert in a number of technologies like UCC and SD-WAN, and we have a large team of people that have security on their Lumen badge. So we had a lot of capabilities to lean on when the world sort of changed. We were very lucky. Most companies that weren't considered essential moved to a work from home model almost overnight. And some were more prepared than others. And at the end of the day, when everyone went home, what our customers needed to solve for was application experiences. How do we communicate with each other in a distributed work model? How can employees access business critical applications and data so that work continues? How can we secure these applications and data when, well, users are everywhere now? Do we have the right connectivity and the right network in place at the right places to ensure the right experiences? And how can we communicate with our vendors, our customers, and our partners? Are we prepared? It's about the application, and every company is becoming a technology company to survive, regardless of the industry. We've learned a lot over the past couple of years, and enterprise technology refresh is back on the table. But here's the thing, we aren't going back to the old norm. Hybrid work is the new norm for the foreseeable future. Where we work is not predictable, and knowledge workers are moving out of big cities to more affordable places to live because, well, they can be productive anywhere now. Knowledge workers prefer a hybrid work environment. They view the office as a destination for collaboration and prefer to be there when there's an event, and they want flexibility to work wherever there is a better answer for productivity. Where we work has changed. So what else has changed? It's about the application, and where we host applications, that's changed as well. Applications aren't centralized in public or private data centers anymore. Well, they're everywhere. What else? Many of the applications we use to host internally, well, they're now in the cloud, especially things like UC and communications applications. Many applications are increasingly latency sensitive. Legacy networks and technologies can't support this new hybrid work paradigm. And this won't slow down. So users are everywhere and applications are everywhere. That is the new norm. I'm going to pass you over to my friend Brian, who's going to take you through how Lumen and Alianza are partnering to leverage this cloud-first strategy to help our customers work in this new hybrid world.
Good morning, reInvent. I'm Brian Beutler, founder and CEO of Alianza. I'm excited to follow my friend Chris Smith and share a bit more about how Alianza and AWS are working together to support Lumen's cloud-first strategy. I believe that the work that we are doing is ushering in the most significant transformation to the communications network that we have seen since the rise of voice over IP and the soft switch over 20 years ago. In its day, the soft switch represented a massive leap forward for service providers and the value that they could deliver to their customers. For the first time ever, service providers could deploy new communications products, features, and functionality through a software release rather than an upgrade to their physical network infrastructure. But despite the advantages that these advancements brought to service providers, there was also a dark side. With the proliferation of VoIP, anyone skilled in SIP products and web programming could develop communications applications that rode over the top of service providers' networks. And as a result, competition exploded virtually overnight. Many of these competitors developed proprietary applications, and they could continuously deliver new features, functionalities, and customer experiences at a speed that could not be matched by service providers and their soft switches. As a result, service providers have fallen behind the innovation curve. As Chris explained, the world has changed, and service providers need to change along with it. They need to innovate faster, simplify operations, and decrease costs in order to deliver the experiences their customers want. Simply put, they need to deliver communications from the cloud in order to power their cloud communication services. Together, Alianza and AWS are helping service providers navigate this transformation. Alianza has leveraged AWS's compute, database, storage, and SDKs to build a modern, agile, and extensible communications cloud exclusively for service providers. Together, we are enabling market leaders like Lumen to cloudify their entire communications core, both legacy products and their collaboration, mobile, and anywhere solutions that have exploded over the last few years. In addition, our cloud-native architecture means that our customers can trust us to continually innovate on their behalf and help them deliver the next generation of amazing experiences to their customers. Truly, the end of the soft switch era is here, and the cloudification of the communications network is next. Thank you.